Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chelsea Explained, as this is your early match preview ahead of Maresca's press conference. So there could be things I'm missing. But there are a few things I want to go through. The latest injury updates around certain players and what I think Maresca should change. And in the predicted line, I'm going to talk about a play that I would try out in the false 9 role because we have nothing to lose. We got some devastating news, of course, as we have every single week at Chelsea Football Club. And that is that Nico Jackson and Mark Guiu will be out for several weeks. And we might not see them until April. That is pretty worrying. We don't have a single striker to utilize. It's not like we're missing them in terms of them scoring goals every single game, but in terms of their output overall, in terms of intensity, pressing, urgency, work ethic, Nico Jackson's link-up play, absolutely fantastic. The sporting directors didn't really sign us another striker to add squad depth. Nico Jackson and other players has been playing so many minutes this season. Maresca decided to barely rotate the squad throughout this December when we had such a tight schedule. Maybe that's why we have players getting fatigued. It looks like Palmer is really fatigued out there on the pitch. Jackson was like dead out there when it was only like 30 minutes left, and we have been forced to taking him out. I feel like Maresca's management of rotating the squad hasn't really helped us. Maybe that's why we have received injuries on Jackson now. But he was also happy with what he got from the transfer window, as he spoke about. He was happy with the signings. He didn't ask for more, maybe because he doesn't have much power. Reece James has apparently not been seen at the training ground for like 5-6 days now, and for like a half week ago, Maresca mentioned that James was okay and he didn't train because they wanted to protect him. So is Maresca lying? Is he getting some contradicting news from the medical team? Is the owners telling him what to say? We're gonna listen to the press conference tomorrow and see what questions Maresca receives and what he's gonna reply on the Reece James situation. But we have seen these updates before around James, and the next thing you know, he's out for 2 months. So I have a feeling, I have a hunch that James could be out, which is not good. Oh, I'm almost out of energy talking around the players Maresca tactics, because we know what's going on behind the scene in terms of the owners. We know that our club is only being run for pure financial reasons, to just milk Chelsea on money and not put the team in Maresca and Chelsea Football Club back into winning ways with all they got. So, I mean, I feel kind of drained. I feel kind of like, what's the point of talking around tactics? But I'm gonna do it anyway, and we're gonna get into football manager. So, I'm gonna try to explain what I would do different here. I want to try some things out because I think this will suit us, and it's worth trying, because if you don't try things out, you will never know. And at this point, we got nothing to lose because both Mark Guiu and Nico Jackson is out injured. Jorgensen is gonna start in goal because I'm sick and tired of, yeah, you know who. In the back line, Colwill has been pretty dodgy, as I've been spoken about. I think Tosin and Chalobah has pretty good chemistry with each other, and I will continue with that. Chalobah hasn't featured in last Premier League game. Colwill has been playing, but he has been making errors, and I would therefore rest him a little bit. Gusto will be the inverted fullback, making this makeshift back three. Maybe joins into the midfield. I don't know, maybe we have Cucurella instead, who is gonna play. Maybe he can make the makeshift back three. Gusto joins in the midfield. But I don't think he can do that job like Cucurella can. Gusto playing as a wide centre back doesn't sit well with me either. I'm gonna be honest, guys. You know what? I'm gonna bring out Gusto here. I'm gonna put Chalobah here. And we're gonna have Colwill getting back into the starting 11. Kaloba will be the guy making this makeshift back three. He can play as an inverted fullback, and we saw him playing as a fullback under Pochettino. He did pretty well, and he's not someone that's gonna bomb up and down. He's gonna be around this area, tossing in the middle, Colwill as the wide left center back in this makeshift back three. Cucurella will invert into midfield or in one of the half spaces. That's what I think he will be utilized as, and he can do the job. Cucurella's so versatile. So yeah, Gusto hasn't been that consistent. He hasn't been playing so well. But I'm not going to blame him too much, because he's playing in a role in Maresca's type of philosophy that of course is not going to suit him, because he is a fullback that likes to overlap, underlap and contribute in the final third, and not being a wide centre back or a inverted midfielder. The midfield pairing is of course going to be Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. There we have him. If Enzo Fernandez stays in a pivot, I think that actually suits him more than bombing up and down constantly. I don't think Fernandez is that agile and fast, and he's very susceptible when the opponent wins possession and going on counter-attacks, because he's struggling with tracking back. So I got some concerns there over Enzo Fernandez's role, playing in this half space role. The wingers will consist of, I want runners behind the back line. Madueke and Neto got pace. I want runners attacking behind the back line. Sancho is not really a runner, he's more a creative winger that creates for others. But we already have two creative roles in this team, which is going to be Enzo Fernandez, who can play through balls, on the flanks and behind here. And we're going to have the false nine, who's going to be creative. So having Sancho will just be overkill. It's better than to have 3 players running behind the back line or out wide, and taking advantage of Fernandez through ball and the movement of the creative false nine. So I think this is going to make our attack more fluid, and I think the opponent will struggle to defend against this. Who is going to play as a shadow striker? Who's going to be the false nine? We have seen Nkunku being utilized as a false nine in recent game, but he cannot fill that role. That's not Nkunku's best position. He was dropping down here last game, but he's not a creative player. He's a player that is threatful around the box area, in the half spaces. So Nkunku will be the shadow striker for me. That's a suitable role for him. Who's gonna play as the false nine? Well, you probably have guessed it at this point, and that's going to be Cole Palmer. Why have I put Cole Palmer here? Because Palmer is one of, if not the most creative player in this team. Then we got Enzo Fernandez, Sancho creative. But Palmer is creating so many chances for others. And when you're gonna fill the false nine role, you have to be creative. You have to be intelligent where you're gonna move. You have to be technical. You have to have vision. And Palmer has that. Will he contribute with goals in this position? Probably not. But I think he's going to complement Madueke and Nkunku and Pedro Neto to a T. Because if Palmer drops down, he takes either the Brighton centre back with him, which will open space for Nkunku to run in behind Madueke or Neto, or even Enzo Fernandez or Cucurella if he's playing in the half space role. Or if Palmer drops down and the defender doesn't follow him, it means Palmer will have more time on the ball here. The opposition do not want to give Palmer that license. Oh my god, my English today is all over the place. But I really hope you understand what I'm thinking here of how this new front four, so to say, could make our attack more fluid. One thing I'm always stressing upon is that I want to stop us from putting in countless of crosses that not leading anywhere. So it's better to play those cutback passes, low driven crosses. Maybe the ball bounces somewhere and have someone taking a shot on the rebound. Yeah, the main attacking patterns here is going to be utilized off spaces. Make the Brighton centre back getting dilemmas if they're gonna follow Palmer or not. If they follow, we can put in through balls behind Brighton's backline. We can have Madueke cutting inside. We can have Nkunku in the half space role having a dig at goal. That's the more type of attacking patterns and the way I want the players to attack and make their sort of decisions. I do not want us to spam crosses. And listen, if the players are fatigued and can't press, we're gonna have to sit back and be compact and hit opposition on counters, because that's our biggest strength. But you can't just force players to constantly press through 90 minutes every single game. The players will get fatigued. But I don't know if Maresca has the tactical knowledge to make us defensive solid in like a low block or a mid block. I don't think that is his way. So I think we're gonna see us pressing and he's gonna run the players in the ground. So let me know what you were changing in this lineup. Let me know what you think around my thoughts and the changes that we could see. In terms of a score prediction, I think it's going to be a very tight game. If Maresca continues to be stubborn, utilizing plays, certain position, not combining roles that suit each other, continue to play in the way we've done, I think we're going to lose again. I think we're going to lose again 2-1. Otherwise, I actually seeing us winning 2-1 if he's being bold and changing things up that actually makes sense. Now we already know what Fabian Hülse's Brighton side is all about. Adapting to the opponents, being in control of the game, in possession. They can also counter-attack, they can press high. Brighton is a strong side, so yeah, I think we can expect the same type of performance from them as we did in the FA Cup. And we need to stop making mistakes as well. We're making so many mistakes that leading to goals that we're just making it so much harder for ourselves than it has to be. So this is going to be it for the match preview. If you're brand new here, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my page, hit that notification bell so you never miss when the content drops. Chelsea Explained is out. Bye.